If you've been watching my videos for a while, you probably know that I eat intuitively and I like to promote this way of eating to you. But with that comes a lot of questions, specifically regarding intuitive eating and weight. So many people are wondering, is it possible to lose weight with intuitive eating? Can you use intuitive eating for weight loss? And maybe the answer will surprise you. Here's the truth on intuitive eating and weight loss. What is intuitive eating? Intuitive eating is an evidence-based approach that promotes listening to your body's hunger and fullness cues instead of outside rules and regulations, and trying to build a healthier relationship with food, all while rejecting diet culture. It was created by two dietitians, Evelyn Tribole and Elise Resch, and it's not a diet or food plan. It's, like I mentioned, a way to rid you of diet culture and to really put your body and your health first, and to really honor your body. And if you're interested, I made quite a few videos on intuitive eating already that you can check out in my intuitive eating playlist right here or in the description. Can you lose weight with intuitive eating? The first thing we're going to talk about is set point theory. Since intuitive eating revolves around listening to your hunger and fullness cues and listening to your body's needs in terms of how much you should be eating, then it will lead to you settling at your set point weight, which is the natural weight that your body wants to be at without making any particular effort to maintain it. This is your biologically and genetically determined weight range that your body will fight to stay in. If you lose too much weight, then your body is going to try to compensate to get you back up into that set point weight range. However, it's really difficult to know whether your set point weight is higher or lower than the current weight you're at. So if you're currently at a higher weight than your set point weight, then yes, intuitive eating will make you lose weight. But if your set point weight is actually higher than the weight you're currently at, then intuitive eating will make you gain weight. And it's also possible that you're already in your set point range and that intuitive eating won't change anything for you weight-wise. In any case, intuitive eating will allow you to reach the weight that is the optimal one for your body, and that's what you should really be focused on if you decide to eat intuitively. But if you're more interested in your set point and set point theory and you want to understand that a little bit more, then check out the video I made about that right here or in the description. Weight loss can happen, but it shouldn't be the main focus. While studies do show that intuitive eating is inversely associated with being overweight or obese, it's important to note that intuitive eating is not a weight loss method. You should not be turning to intuitive eating to lose weight, but rather to build a healthier relationship with food and learn how to listen to your body's signals. Reaching your natural set point may also take time, and so if your main focus and your main goal is losing weight, then you might find yourself giving up on intuitive eating and going back to like restrictive eating habits, and that just defeats the entire purpose of intuitive eating. However, in many cases, your restrictive diet is the thing that's causing you to have many cheat meals or binging episodes. I made videos on these things here as well, and that may lead to weight gain even if you feel like you're not eating a lot. Turning to intuitive eating would mean letting go of these restrictions, and therefore, if these foods are available to you whenever you want, then you're less likely to binge on them or to have cheat meals with them. And so your calories will be more evenly spread out across your meals, and they will likely amount to less. However, you could also feel that you are eating healthily, that your portions are small, that you aren't binging or having any cheat meals, so it's pretty difficult for you to understand why you aren't losing weight. Well, our bodies are very complex, and it's possible that you are restricting yourself so much that you are actually starving yourself. Depriving yourself of food leads to energy-saving adaptations, which essentially prevent you from losing weight. These are good survival mechanisms that are put in place to help you survive, but obviously you don't want to trigger them if you don't have to. Turning to a more mindful and intuitive way of eating will have you listening to your hunger and fullness cues instead of calories, and will have you leave this energy-saving mode. In order to burn calories, you actually need to consume calories. Will I gain weight with intuitive eating? Since you can't be sure how your current weight compares to your set point weight, you cannot be sure whether you are going to lose weight or gain weight with intuitive eating. This is really important to stress because while I do think that intuitive eating will help you get to your set point weight, which is in a lot of cases lower than your actual weight, it is possible that you're actually going to be gaining weight, and that's something you really need to be prepared for. If you're not prepared for that, then intuitive eating is not for you. Beyond the set point weight theory, the fact that you are going to be letting go of food rules and food restrictions when you start intuitive eating, that can cause an initial phase of weight gain, because after depriving yourself for food, for different types of food for such a long time, then there will need to be this need to kind of compensate, and you're likely to overeat. Because what happens is that your body is so used to being restricted from all of these foods that when the possibility to eat them arrives, your body really just wants to go all in to like stock up on these foods if you were to restrict again, just in case, because that's what it's used to you doing. But when after a while your body realizes that you're not going to have another restriction phase and that these foods are just going to be available to it whenever it wants, then you will start to crave these foods less. Obviously, this applies for people who have been restricting foods, not for people who already eat whatever they want whenever they want and who have no restriction and who don't feel like food guilt or anything like that in regards to food. This is really for people who are used to restricting. So this is a really normal phenomenon, and it's just important to stick through it, even through the weight gain. And again, this is why weight loss should not be your main goal when you want to turn to intuitive eating. It's also important to really focus on long-term goals rather than instant gratification, because yes, you might gain a little bit of weight right now, but in a few months or years down the line, you'll be at your natural set point weight. It won't cost you any effort to maintain, and you'll have a healthy relationship with food. So you have to ask yourself if it's worth it to go through this like temporary kind of discomfort in order to have what you want long term. But what if I want to lose weight? If your main goal is to actively lose weight, then turning to intuitive eating and breaking free from food rules and restrictions is probably not for you right now. However, I do want to mention again that dieting is not an effective tool for weight loss. Video on why that is here. And if you decide to go under your set point, then your body will fight to get back to it, and that will be really difficult for you to maintain that weight loss. So why not try a happy medium? I guess it's possible to apply certain principles of intuitive eating to your way of dieting, and you can maintain some food rules that you feel are helpful for you. For instance, you may decide to follow the principle that tells you to eat healthy foods that make you feel good and that taste good, but you may not want to follow the one that gives yourself unconditional permission to eat. You may feel more comfortable giving yourself certain times to eat and set portions to eat, all while wishing to challenge your notions of good and bad foods. It's absolutely possible to lose weight by choosing whole, minimally processed foods as much as you can, by eating more mindfully, by eating delicious yet healthy and balanced meals, and by really just applying the principles that resonate with you. It just needs to be integrated into your lifestyle in a sustainable way instead of following an approach that's like lose X amount of pounds in 5 days. You do need to keep in mind that this is not intuitive eating though. You're just deciding to loosely apply some of its principles to your way of eating. And I say this because I just don't want you to see intuitive eating as just another diet, just another way to lose weight that can ultimately end up failing, because that's really not what intuitive eating is about. If you're following all of its principles, intuitive eating can never fail because weight loss is just never the goal with it. Whereas if you're just cherry picking the principles that you like for yourself, all while maintaining certain food rules and restrictions and certain aspects of dieting, then it can fail. But then it's just, you have to know that it was just not intuitive eating in the first place. Again, there's like nothing wrong with this. I actually would encourage you to adapt certain intuitive eating principles if you're looking to lose weight. I just don't want you to get things mixed up. While it may lead to weight loss, it's not the main goal when you want to start intuitive eating. It should never be the main goal. The main goal is for you to get a better relationship with food and to also learn to listen to your hunger and fullness cues, to your body signals, instead of focusing on outside rules and regulations. When you start intuitive eating, nobody can tell you whether you will lose or gain weight or stay the same, and you may have an initial period of weight gain because you are kind of overeating to compensate for all of that restriction. If you feel like you're in a place where you really want to lose weight, then intuitive eating is probably not for you, but you can adapt some of its principles to your lifestyle, all while maintaining the food rules that feel good for you. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like it and subscribe, and see you on my next one. Bye.